Tanner said, this is exactly what I recommended would be the next best system to eliminate the tapping meta. And that's exactly what they did. You get assist credit only if you damage them before the down, not after the down. The only downside here, Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty Podcast, episode number 401. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today I'm joined by Tanner for an exciting episode of the Dropshot of Call of Duty Podcast. Are you excited, Tanner?
I would say standard excitement. Pretty standard. Pod. Not much to talk about. Yeah, it's standard.
This is, I would say, going to be a pretty standard episode. Yeah. We got some changes, some updates, some meta shifting adjustments to the game. We have some news. Yeah, it's a pretty standard ep. But there are things you guys should know that you might not know yet, because these some developments have been pretty recent on the backs of these patches, and we are going to talk about them. Oh, nice. Today. So, yeah, we got a couple things to talk about. And before we do, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, welcome to our new patrons, our new gold patron, Rob K. Our newest gold patron. Thanks, Rob. We
Robert
appreciate
K,
that.
huh? Is that the our future president, maybe?
Robbie K, yeah, it's possible.
Could be.
Rob Fitzgerald
What
Kennedy.
kind of chapstick was that?
It's Carmex.
Carmex makes some great products. Really good products.
Yeah, I've used other, because my mom has always used Carmex. So when I was like growing up and I had chapped lips, she had that thing on deck.
Yeah,
so
moms like having that thing on deck.
Yeah, moms have that on deck always, and sunscreen and aloe vera, if you're white like we are. Anyways, so yeah, growing up, I always just thought like all chapstick was like Carmex. And then I got older and I just got like random chapstick once, just some brand, because my lips were chapped. And then I used it and it would like feel fine. And then once it was dry, my lips were like worse. They were like worse off than before I put it on. And it took me a couple applications to realize this, but I was like, dude, this is like the big pharma conspiracy where they give you pills to like make you more sick so that you have to keep taking pills. Most chapstick companies actually do that. I swear. They make your lips feel better right when you put it on, and then they dry them out even more so that you feel like you have to go buy another stick to put it on for the immediate relief.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, screw this chapstick. I need to go get some Carmex again, because Carmex will actually work. Like once it dries up, your lips are like healed. Yeah. Shout out to Carmex, and we are open. We should email them, by the way.
This one's pretty good right here. Burt's Beeswax lip balm.
Burt's
Been using
Bees
that one.
Is another good one.
And then I'm telling you, man, Manscaped is a top 3. Manscaped is a top 3 lip balm for me. Unfortunately, I ran out. Yeah. Fortunately, I ran out. And they don't like us anymore, so I don't have any. But yeah, the Manscaped one was fantastic, man.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't recall that one much either way. But anyways, today we're not talking about that. So Robert, again, welcome, buddy, our newest gold patron, our new platinum patron, Doss, who's also joined the Discord, by the way. An absolute Chad.
Did he?
Welcome aboard, buddy. He did, yeah. We appreciate that. And it's great to have you. Yeah. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. Best way to support the show. Ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and bonus episodes. Speaking of which, haven't done any this week after all. Oops. We were going to, but the game has been really fun lately.
We will tomorrow, though. We're going to record something tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Okay, we are, but yeah.
Okay. The game's been really fun, so
I don't even want to talk about it. Yeah, I just literally want to play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just let somebody else record the bonus Fs this month.
We could do that, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's good because once we inevitably do record the bonus episodes, we'll be enthusiastic about it, and we'll have a lot more playtime under our belts than if we had done it, Wednesday or something.
I think this is the longest I've gone without hating Warzone in a long time. I mean, a week straight of playing and not hating anything, that's kind of wild, man.
That's pretty bonkers. Yeah. And, we were not lying in our last episode when we said this is like the best season ever of Warzone, or at least I said that. I still stand by it. It's fantastic.
W Ted. W Warzone.
So we've been playing a lot. So when you guys do eventually get your bonus episodes, which you should starting this weekend, we'll record tomorrow on Friday. Those are going to be solid and very well informed. Not sure what we're going to do because we have a lot of things we could talk about.
I think we start with a little big map brainstorm. That's kind of what I'm doing because we've been playing mostly big map. We've played Fortune's Keep. We've played more ranked. We're going to do a episode dedicated to that, but I think we start with a specific big map brainstorm. I think we do. I think that would work really well. Yeah, because I think
we need to talk about Keep on the public feed. Maybe we'll do that Saturday. Kind of like a Fortune's Keep / ranked review. Because we've played it enough by now. I've played like quite a few games, quite a few hours. I think you have too, actually.
Yeah, I don't want to play it, but I have been. I'd rather play Urzikstan. For sure. We've played enough, I think, to talk about it in some detail.
So we'll probably do that on Saturday. But yeah, on Patreon, Big Map Brainstorm sounds good. We got a lot of other things we could talk about. The gun meta, again, is kind of wild. There are attachments that, have started to become meta as well. Like the, oh man, I don't know what it's called. It's got like a weird designation. It's like Zemet B34 flash compensator hider
that
barrel
keeps you
muzzle
off the mini
grip.
Map a little bit longer or something. Yeah. Or does it keep you
That's
off
like
of it?
Entered the meta. I don't know when that attachment came to the game, but it wasn't on launch. I don't think.
I don't know when it was added either, but people I think really just started using that one like within the last month or so.
Yeah.
So it was before season 2. I'm almost positive, but I don't know when it was added. It must have came with one of the guns in like season 1 Reloaded, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's possible. Like you unlock it by getting whatever HRM to level 12, but then you can put it on anything, something like that. So people have been using that. There are other attachments to talk about too, like the Jack BFB post nerf. Is that still worth it? Other things. What's the meta? And I don't know if we'll do that on Patreon this month, but we might. And there are other things as well, but we'll probably start with the big map brainstorm. But anyways, thank you to our new patrons. We very much appreciate you guys. And we also got a little offline donation contribution from Mike Zanoli, Gamoli, Gabagool, Guacamole, Italian man, who gave us a big donation. A real big donation. He's been an Obsidian patron, longtime listener, friend of the pod, supporter, Oiler. And he donated and he said this: I think I may have missed episode 400 L. Also, Black Cell penance. Now, as a reminder, we no longer require a Black Cell fee because the game is fun. So you're allowed to buy Black Cell without also paying us 30 United States dollars. That was not true during Modern Warfare 2.
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear, a lot of you have accumulated a lot of debt.
Yeah.
Interest.
Start paying.
Because you bought Black Cell Season 3 of MW2 and didn't pay us our $30. Oops. That's now $300. So a lot of you still owe us money. But if you buy Black Cell right now, it's fine. You don't owe us anything. But Michael Zanoli did not get that memo. And instead, he donated a generous, whopping, Vaping Viking level donation amount of 430 United States dollars.
Wow, Mike Z,
holy cow.
Yeah. This is already demonetized, so I guess we can just cuss. Is that how that works?
Fuck it. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Cool.
Woo!
Mike, thank you very much, man. Jesus Christ. Appreciate that, buddy.
That is incredible.
We'll send you back the 30 for Black Cell. We won't. But yeah, thanks, man. You didn't need to pay the Black Cell fee. That has been lifted.
That has been lifted, but we're gonna pocket that cash anyway, Mike. Yeah. And thank you very much. That's extremely generous. We're forever grateful for you, as we always have been. Real big support there, buddy.
Yeah, Mike, thank you very much, man.
Yeah, thanks. It goes a long way, dude. For real. You didn't have to do that, obviously, but we really, really fucking appreciate it. So thank you very much, dude. Shout out to Mike Zanoli. And everyone in Discord, add him and thank him as well.
Shout out to Big Mike Z.
He may or may not hear you in the Obsidian yacht. I don't know, but you can try. So thank you, Mike. We appreciate you, man, and love you. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
That's not fair, man.
Gap.
That one. Yeah, that one. That wasn't cool.
I have to get sneaky, man. Gotta get sneaky.
Yeah, a little sneaky.
All right, today, episode 401, in honor of Mike Zanoli. We have a couple patch notes to go through. We got a patch on the 13th of February, which does have some substance, and they have broken this, as they've been doing lately, into multiplayer and Warzone. So we're going to start by opening the multiplayer patch notes here. These both took place on February the 13th. So there was some crashing that was happening, I guess, and they fixed that. Some other bug fixes as well, none of which matter too much. Let's see. And I'm looking through for anything even remotely relevant, so
for bug fixes or everything?
Just everything. One thing here, for those of you that scrim, private matches, adjusted game rules will now align with the competitive settings rule set that is up to date.
We should do some sweaty CDL tomorrow night for the hangout, man. Some sweaty CDL.
I am now a controller main, so I could do that, although no one would stand a chance because I'm a CDL professional.
Yes,
okay, weapons and attachments. So here's something else. Striker 9 was...
That's a long list. Holy.
Changed a lot. There are literally a dozen or more bullet points here. Counting is hard, so I can't do that.
13.
I would say...
Wow.
It was, by and large, buffed, but there were some little things that were nerfed as well. So... hard for me to say. I'm going to read the blurb they've written here. The recoil pattern of the Striker 9 has been significantly adjusted resulting in increased control while firing. So, yeah. Is this the Uzi?
Nope, this is the Striker 9. Like it says
What's
there.
What's the Uzi called?
WSP 9. This is the Striker 45 at 9mm. This is the really good ground loot gun, solid SMG in Warzone. Okay, I have one question for you multiplayer players. Why does this say added the ability to aim down sight while sliding? Like, can you do that by default now, or was it always bugged and you couldn't do it? I'm confused about that.
That is interesting. I wonder.
But I don't know what that really means.
Sounds like to me it was bugged. Like you could have tac pads equipped and it wouldn't work, and now it will. That's what I'm getting from this. But if you could like ADS while sliding without tac pads, that would make this really good. That's interesting. So I don't know what that means. Because Goat is saying that this means you can ADS while sliding even without tac pads.
Why would they do it for just that one specific gun then?
Yeah, that'd be very weird, but possible, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. It was changed. Look into it. The Evolver was changed as well. And we'll go over this more when we get to Warzone, because I think it's a lot more relevant for Warzone. And the changes are probably similar, if not the same, in Warzone. So I'm not going to read these all yet.
They're different.
But basically, they made the 7.62, which is the default caliber, like a beefier kind of round. So if you don't put on 5.56 ammo, then your Evolver is going to feel more like an LMG than it used to, basically. Slower rate of fire, so it's even easier to control the recoil as a result of that. And then a lot of increases to damage range, and even multipliers as well. And target flinch. So they basically just made the 7.62, again, the default caliber round. And therefore the whole gun feel more like a classic LMG. And conversely, the 5.56 belts, so the 5.56 mags, ammos, types, they made these feel a lot less like an LMG than they used to. Move faster, ADS way faster, fire rate way higher. So they just kind of made the 5.56 and 7.62 distinction more obvious and more different than they used to be, which I think is a good change. Because before they felt different, but not that much different. Now they feel quite a bit different. And again, we'll get more into this when we do the Warzone patch notes, because I think it's way more relevant there, because no one's really using this in multiplayer.
Yeah, you're not really running around with the LMG in multiplayer much. Yeah,
there are probably people using the 5.56 belt in tac stance like they are in Warzone in multiplayer right now. That's possible. But again, we'll get more into it with Warzone. So, yeah. And here's what they say about it. Our primary goal for these changes is to better differentiate the two ammo types. 7.62 is a slow yet accurate long-range round. Conversely, 5.56 is for aggression and run and gun play styles. Yeah. So that makes sense. Let's see. They buffed the Jack Tyrant 7.62 kit for the longbow, the new aftermarket part K. They changed the WSP Stinger, which is a full auto pistol, which is what I use for my secondary in multiplayer, actually. It has more recoil now, but it also has more damage.
No, it reduced the recoil. That's what they say, at least. Has reduced recoil, which is also easier to control, pairing well with its increased damage.
That's weird, because they increased the recoil gun kick, but they decreased the horizontal recoil. And then they increased the vertical recoil as well.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
So I don't know why they said that. They did decrease the most important recoil stat, though, which is horizontal. So now it's going to kick more and recoil up more than it used to.
Yeah.
But it's going to bounce left to right less. So maybe that's what they
And
mean.
that was
This is definitely a buff though, for sure.
That's what I did not like about the Stinger ever. I did not like that secondary because you're right. It felt like an MW2 gun, how the shake was crazy when using iron sights on that little thing. And that was mostly due to the horizontal recoil. Yeah. So the fact that that's now reduced, that makes sense. But it's like, it sounds like it's a lot worse because they increase recoil gun kick 87%.
Yeah.
Sounds like it got worse, but horizontal is decreased 34%. So I don't know. I'm not sure how this will perform, but
yeah, that'd be
the starting
I'll
pistol in
check this
multiplayer
out.
is better anyway, so you shouldn't be using this in multiplayer if you're actually playing multiplayer to try to do well.
Yeah, I'll be trying this because I do use this gun as my secondary. It has that quick draw thing. It's nice for hip fire. Anyway, No Stock, the attachment in general, has removed hip fire crosshair sway. So that's kind of part and parcel of the change they made with Season 2 to all the aim idle sway stuff that we had gone over in great detail that people were very happy about. This is kind of in line with that, so that's good. The Assassin Vest resolved an issue preventing lethal equipment from being equipped. Oh! Okay. Oh yeah, I was wondering about that. Okay. So there you go. And then permanently remove the loadout drop field upgrade from multiplayer. Due to limited use and often being utilized to reach exploitable locations, the loadout drop is no longer available in multiplayer. W change. No one ever used loadout drop field upgrade. I don't know why you would want to. All it did was let you change your class in multiplayer without having to die first. But like I'm playing multiplayer, I'll just respawn with the other class. It's not a big deal. I'm certainly not sacrificing a field upgrade slot to do that. So, duh. This should have never been in the game. And now they're taking it out because people were just exploiting with it. So that's good. A couple changes to ranked play as well. Subbase hardpoint has been temporarily removed from the ranked play map pool because the hardpoints were just miserable, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what it is at this point because the first time they removed it, I thought was because they were replacing it with something else because nobody liked it. But then I thought I saw a tweet a couple days ago saying it's because they removed it the first time to fix some bug, and then now they didn't actually fix that bug, so that's why they removed it again. It's because of the contest spot. 0.3 contest sheet. Yeah, okay. So it will come back again once they actually fix it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it does say temporarily. So there you go. And then this was surprising to me. And I actually saw this on the TL a little bit. I saw one or two tweets about it. Sniper rifles, all of them, can't be used in ranked play. This is confusing to me. Like, you can't use any snipers? Was this GA'd? Is that why they did this?
Yeah, for sure. Because, couldn't you in MW2? Because I sniped when we played MW2 ranked. Were they not GA'd back then? Like, why are they GA'd now versus then? I don't know. I don't keep up with any of that, but yeah, I don't know.
Seems really weird to just GA all snipers. It's like a whole weapon class.
The pros only use it in search and not all the maps it's allowed.
That's so weird.
So the pros are probably like, you can use a sniper only on this map. Okay. On search.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And aren't there only like 3 search maps or something too? So it's like, what, they get one option?
It seems weird to me as well because in this game, especially with how good the movement is and how little recoil the guns have, snipers don't even seem that good.
It makes sense for search, for watching lanes or something.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, I don't know.
They would know. Is that really big map in the CDL? What's it called? What's the desert map that's big?
Is it in a city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like a stronghold.
Invasion, yeah. That's a good map. Yeah.
I could see snipers being annoying on Invasion.
When we were talking about this, that's the map that was in my head, is watching both of those lanes or even mid with the sniper.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, anyway, there you go. I don't play on keyboard and mouse, so I don't care. In fact, I'm glad they're not allowed. Zombies, I refuse to read because it's a dog shit game mode, and that's it. Okay. So, don't play zombies. Go play Cold War Zombies if you want, or a different game, because both would be more fun. Moving on to the February 13th Warzone patch notes. So, we got a couple things here, and these are interesting and pretty good. Estimated match time. A new label has been added when selecting a mode on the main menu, which indicates the estimated match duration. That's cute. I would like an estimated queue time label as well.
It'll take 35 minutes to find your Resurgence ranked match, even though you're only gold.
Yeah.
Dead game mode, L game mode, L Fortune's Keep, L High Moon Studios, whatever they're called. High Moon? What are they called? High Moon. L name, L Studio, L map.
Yeah. L Flora. So anyway, estimated match time was added. That's cool, I guess. If you're, whatever. Gameplay. Armor and ammo stowing, quality of life. Armor and ammo will show the stow prompt when the backpack is not full. Armor and ammo will show the swap prompt when the backpack is full. That is a nice little quality of life change. I haven't noticed it yet, but I like that.
What was it before? Did it show either, like every time or something?
I think it would always show stow, and then if you were full, it would bring up your backpack and prompt you to swap something.
Oh, so you had to manually click.
So now you'll know if your backpack is full.
Okay.
Because it'll say swap instead.
Cool.
Which I like. Players can use the hold to stow function to swap items at any point, regardless if the stow prompt is visible. That's good, actually. I like this change. Gas station on TAC map, quality of life change. Players will only see gas stations on the TAC map when they're in a vehicle. And I guess the reason for this is so that you get to see other icons more clearly and it's not super cluttered. I guess that makes sense. I don't know if I like that. I don't think it's that big of a deal either way.
Yeah.
I can imagine a time where I would want to know there's a gas station around me, even though I'm not in a vehicle.
Just because the loot there, and a lot of people always seem to go to gas stations for loot, so it's kind of nice to know. But at this point, I mean, the areas we go, we know them well enough where we know the gas stations are anyways, so guess it doesn't really matter either way. But so basically, it's never visible on the TAC map that there's a gas station somewhere until you get in a vehicle, and then it does finally show them. So yeah, yes. I mean, I guess that does help with clutter, probably a lot actually, because I don't know how many gas stations there are on Urzikstan. There's got to be at least 20, right? At a minimum.
At least 20, so yeah.
That is less clutter on the map, so I like that, yeah. Haven't paid attention to it, but...
Well, there are times when, like, if you see an enemy vehicle, and then you look at your TAC map, and then you also see the gas station icon... You know exactly where they're going.
Yeah, that's true. Like, oh, they're getting out, they're gassing up, they're getting their snacks.
So like, oh, let's go hold them. Or we know where they're, like, that's good info to have that you might not get anymore since you won't see it. Mm-hmm. I would prefer this be an option, but it's not a huge deal. So
yeah, I mean, I would love if eventually in Warzone there was the whole TAC map legend and I could... When I press M to pull up my map, I can manually click on things I want to see or don't want to see, and that setting that setting keep when I relaunch the game every time. Because there are some things I just don't ever want to see. Intel contracts, just get them off of my screen. You're just cluttering my map.
Right.
Every single vehicle, just get them off. I don't care, you know? There are certain things that I would just never want to see on there, and I kind of wish that was an option, but we'll probably never really get that, so whatever. But yeah, this is a nice way to reduce some clutter for sure.
Yeah, it's good and bad. So weapon adjustments, the Striker 9. So again, it got the same changes we had gone over. it was overall, I would say, nerfed. Wait, we didn't go over these. These are different.
That's what I'm saying. They're all different from Warzone and multiplayer.
Yeah, okay. So the Striker 9 was nerfed, actually, in Warzone. They basically just gave it more recoil and a tiny bit less velocity than it used to have. Doesn't look like they ruined it or anything. They didn't change any damages or damage ranges, which is good. Nor did they change any ADS speeds or sprint-to-fire speeds, so that's good. The only thing they did was increase the recoil of it. So it'll be a little harder to use, but...
Yeah, it's different because they did decrease the recoil gun kick, which is a very important one, but then they doubled the amount of horizontal recoil, which is the recoil you essentially cannot compensate or control. So I don't know. I also saw people calling this a buff. I hadn't really looked at it. To me, this sounds like a nerf. And I did notice yesterday like using the ground loot striker because I was thinking about that as I was picking up and using it. Like, oh, this gun got buffed. And the first thing I thought was like, this feels like it has more recoil because I was feeling the horizontal recoil, but I don't know. I haven't been using this. I think there are better SMGs to use anyways, so
yeah,
I haven't been running this.
So yeah, maybe that recoil gun kick change, it went from 35 degrees to 55 degrees. There's a lot less recoil gun kick, but it also, again, the horizontal and vertical recoil were increased from 9 to 16 and 40 to 50 respectively. And that 9 to 16 on horizontal recoil, yeah, that's a lot more. Or it sounds like a lot more, but maybe that's not. I have no frame of reference. Like, I don't know what like 10 degrees of recoil means. Like, I don't know what that feels like. So I don't know if that's a lot or not. So go try it, I guess. But as long as it's controllable, then it's still viable, I would say. Which it probably is. So.
You can ADS and slide with every gun in Warzone, Goat. You just you get tac pads by default in Warzone.
Yeah, you get tac pads by default in Warzone.
I still don't understand why it would work that way in multiplayer though. I don't get why just that gun would do it, but whatever.
Goat's a casual. The tac evolver. Increased movement speed to 5 meters per second from 4.5 meters per second. So you move a little faster with it. Decrease the rate of fire to 500 RPM from 700 RPM. So again, that's for the 7.62 rounds, the default ammo type. And then increase target flinch to 0.8 newtons up from 0.5 newtons. So you make people flinch more with the 7.62 ammo. So 7.62 ammo didn't change that much. Well, it did a lot, actually. Way lower fire rate, so slower time to kill, but you make the enemy flinch more, which is pretty nice in heads-up gunfights. And you move a fair amount faster, like 12% faster than you used to.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like an LMG, surprisingly.
Yeah, even with the 7.62, it doesn't that much until you reload. But here's the big one, 5.56 belts. Increase the movement speed benefit that you already got by an additional 16%. 40% hip fire spread reduction benefit. So you get way tighter hip fire by default with the 5.56 ammo. Increased ADS speed benefit by 15%. Okay. Increased ADS movement speed benefit by 17%. And then added rate of fire benefit at 857 RPM. So you're also getting 350 RPM more if you put on 5.56 ammo. So that's a big deal. This is a big deal. And it might not sound like it just from reading that patch note, but we have seen there is a very broken new little combo that has been exploited recently because of these changes to the 5.56 ammo specifically, number one, and number two, all the tac stance buffs that we got with Season 2, in addition to no more of the idle sway and your hip fire reticle going off center of your screen ever. Combine that with the tac stance buff that we got with Season 2, with this 5.56 ammo buff for this LMG, and people have discovered I should build a 5.56 tac evolver, 4 tac stance, and run around and kill people in 400 milliseconds that are fully plated. And that's exactly what they're doing. And it's grossly overpowered. It is one of the most overpowered things I've ever seen in Warzone. It's top probably 5 ever, which is saying a lot. It's really busted. I had heard about this, but I hadn't really seen it until this morning. I was watching Symphony use it, and I was like, oh, that guy got deleted, and it was easy because you do it in tac stance too. Mm-hmm. So it's really, 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 really good, and it will be nerfed soon. And I think the way they need to nerf it is the 5.56 ammo on the tac evolver specifically. I do not want to see tac stance nerfed, and I don't want to see the ADS idle sway or hip fire off-center things come back, which they won't. So they could either nerf this by nerfing tac stance, which would be, in general, which would be really unfortunate, or by nerfing the 5.56 ammo, which I find extremely likely. It's really busted. Okay.
Yeah, they'll probably just change the damage multipliers, maybe even lower the rate of fire benefit they gave it. I'm not sure, but it is, JGod did some testing specifically within 20 meters, the 5.56 ammo. It beats every SMG by a lot. It has a potential time to kill of like 420 milliseconds, but like realistically, it's like low 500s or high 400s, which is broken because the SMG meta right now is right around 600 millisecond time to kill. So it's very good. It's very, very good. It definitely, absolutely needs a nerf. The way they've been doing things, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a patch by tomorrow nerfing it before the weekend. Because for as broken as it is, I haven't encountered it in too many lobbies. As of yesterday, I haven't played yet today. Maybe it got a lot worse, but as of yesterday morning, surprisingly, not that many people were running it, actually. Mm-hmm. So I think by now, though, and especially by this weekend, it'll just be full-on blown wide open, and everyone will be running it, and it's insane. So yeah, 5.56 absolutely needs a nerf. And the 7.62 default rounds, that is a meta contender right now as well for long range. A lot of people are using that. There are so many different builds you can do. It, like people and us, you use the term no recoil. This gun, really, you build it a certain way. You can fire your 100 round magazine. By the time that 99th bullet hits, your reticle is slightly lower than where you started on the first bullet.
Yeah, it
really has good negative recoil with certain builds, right? So it's very, very good. Also, you don't need to have it leveled to use any of the meta attachments. I don't know if the gun is bugged, what's going on, but mine was level 3. When we were playing yesterday, our guns were like level 3 to 5. You can use every single meta attachment on it.
Really?
Yes. So that's the other thing why it was really good. You don't even have to level it up.
That kind of makes sense because the Spirit Fire suppressor, you don't need to level. You just need the muzzle slot unlocked for. The optic, the eagle eye, same thing if you're doing this
but that's the thing is none of the categories are locked, even at level 3, which is why it's bugged.
I understand. Okay.
Like, like most guns, you can't even put a magazine attachment on until maybe level 8 or 9. This at level 3 that mine was, you can put any attachment that you have unlocked on the gun that works with that gun. So nothing was locked. So that was bugged. So I don't know, maybe they'll fix that. But somebody in chat asked how you even unlock the Evolver. I don't even remember. I got mine dropped in zombies for me.
It was a weekly challenge in season 1. Now the way to unlock it is an armory unlock. So open your armory unlock challenges. Remember what we had to do at launch? You have to do that again. Go find the Evolver, select it, and then win some games of multiplayer or do some dailies, and then you'll get progress toward unlocking it. Yeah.
But so yeah, 5.56 tac Evolver is the close range move right now. I haven't personally used it because I'm not a huge fan of using overly broken guns because I know they're going to get nerfed quickly, especially now that we have Raven in control and not Infinity Ward. If this had happened under Infinity Ward's leadership, then I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll use it. They won't nerf it or it'll be 6.5 weeks. But now that we have Raven running things, I think it'll get nerfed very quickly now. So I haven't personally used it, but I know it's very, very, very good and definitely worth running right now. But yeah, I mean, this could be nerfed within days at this point. And I used the 7.62 long range build a lot yesterday. It's pretty good. It's really, really good at medium range engagements. Fantastic. The lower RPM, which is 500, you notice at range, you miss a lot of shots where you think you're going to hit, and it's definitely because of that lower fire rate. It's not forgiving. Like it looks like you're lined up on a moving target and you end up missing like 3, 4, 5 shots in a row that it looks like it's hitting, but it's because the low RPM. But at like medium range, especially when you can click on those heads, this gun is nuts. Very, very good. I had a lot of fun running that yesterday.
Yeah. One thing actually, because you're right, it isn't forgiving because of the slow fire rate. One thing I think might be worth doing if you're building this for long range on big map, which is the only reason you'd use the 7.62 ammo type, you have a free attachment slot because the default mag is a 100 round belt of 7.62 ammo. So you have a free attachment slot. Maybe it's worth running like high velocity rounds or even high grain. I think that gives you a little velocity as well to compensate for the slow fire rate, and it'll make it feel a little more forgiving because your bullets will at least reach more quickly at long range. That's something that might be worth looking into on a gun where you have a free attachment slot, since you don't have to take extended mags.
Yeah.
And you really don't need more recoil attachments on it. So, like, you could totally get away with not running a recoil like underbarrel and instead running an ammo type. I haven't done that myself, but that's only because I didn't think of it. But I might want to do that because I'm running like the Bruin Heavy and the recoil stock as well, plus the barrel muzzle and optic. I could definitely afford to drop the underbarrel or stock and run an ammo type, and it would still be incredibly easy to control. It's probably worth doing. Mainly, actually, I'm thinking high grain ammo, get a little more damage range.
That is what most people run. Are you talking about the 7.62, right?
Yes.
That is what most people run, is the high grain ammo.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think of it, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So that would make it feel a little more forgiving, give you some more velocity, but yeah, that's really the only downside. It's really fun though. And you get to stay off minimap, which, you know, a lot of you might not be used to anymore because you've been running a loud RAM for so long. It is nice not being on minimap. So yeah. Anyway, that's a big deal. But yeah, use that tac stance before it gets nerfed. Moving on. Let's see. It's pretty much it. I mean, they changed again the Jack Tyrant aftermarket part on the longbow. Doesn't matter. The WSP Stinger, the pistol, they changed that again. Doesn't matter. And then the no stock attachment for all guns removed hipfire crosshair sway. So that's quite good for hipfire builds. If you're like still using a pump shotgun maybe, or you're using like, I don't know, the Swarm or something with a hipfire as a hipfire build, because you always run no stock on hipfire builds in this game, because no stock gives you massive movement speed, which is really good for hipfire builds because you want to close distance. And it also gives you better hipfire accuracy as well. So it's like really, really good for hipfire builds. And now they've removed the hipfire crosshair sway as well. So it makes it even easier to use. This is a nice change. I like it.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Next is perks. So quick fix. They have fixed quick fix basically. So when they changed the irradiated perk with season 2, they buffed it so that you take 20% less gas damage, and they did something else. I forget what it was. Oh, and they allowed you to plate in gas. If you combined that with quick fix, where once you insert a plate, your health starts to regen immediately, people were able to just like stay in the gas forever with that perk combo, as long as they kept plating and throwing armor boxes. So they said, okay, we're going to temporarily change quick fix such that you don't get your health regen as soon as you insert a plate, because we don't want people to be doing gas plays. They have reverted that. So now quick fix works as expected, and it works perfectly correctly now. If you get a full or a down, maybe both, your health starts to regen immediately. Yeah. It's both, okay. And once again, as soon as you insert a plate, your health starts to regen immediately if you have quick fix. Very good. In addition, quick fix will no longer regenerate health in the gas after replacing an armor plate. Perfect. Yep. So this is literally exactly the long-term solution we proposed they do. And now they did it. So the quick fix works as intended, except in the gas, only to counteract the irradiated quick fix exploit cheese. Perfect fix. Quick fix is now worth using again. I've swapped back to it because it's fantastic and great and perfect. And W Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on to Warzone Ranked Play Resurgence. A couple of bug fixes.
Players are getting the wrong
really
amount of
talking about
SR for a few days, and they fixed it since then.
Yeah. And then they fixed some things with like the it was showing incorrect SR when you did challenges or whatever.
Yeah.
So, by the way, on that topic, and we might say this again on Saturday, but I'm going to mention it now because I very well could forget. The SR challenges system that they've done is a huge, massive brain idea that was impactful as fuck for us.
Yeah.
Like we played our first game. We were all bronze. We won, of course. So we finished the game and we were like silver, like 3 after one game. Cause we got like the winning a match bonus, placing top 3 bonus, placing top 5 bonus, placing top 8 bonus, get 10 kills bonus. So our first game on, we got, I think, I'm not kidding, I got like 950 SR.
Yeah.
So I was just scooted right the fuck out of bronze.
Yeah.
So that was a really good idea.
It was.
Get me out of there.
I mean, we had almost every single challenge done by like our third game. Because, yeah, we won 3 in a row. I think by our third game, the only thing, or like our third or fourth game, the only thing I hadn't had done yet was like the 100 kills or assists at that point, obviously. But I got that in the middle of the game too, but yeah. It took more than the one game. Yeah, because I think you dropped, what, a 45 or something that first game?
Yeah, I'm on controller now.
Jake dropped the 8, I dropped the 3, and then you dropped the 45 bomb or something. Yeah.
Right, that's correct, yes.
GG's.
This is really good for... Because when Ranked Play first came out for Warzone, I thought, boy, is it dumb to not have placement matches. Starting everyone at bronze is dumb because you are going to just be constantly running through bronze players. Because believe it or not, there are players that are like hard stuck bronze 3.
Yeah.
That's like pretty much as good as they are, and they're not going to get out of it.
And we know
they really don't need Jake, who hasn't tried Resurgence yet, and then goes and plays ranked his first game a week after launch, to just decimate the bronze players who are actually there. We need to get him out quickly. So give him placement matches. But they don't do that. They don't do placement matches. This is kind of the next best thing, because another thing that I'm pleased to report, the matchmaking for ranked for us has actually been what you would expect for a ranked system. In other words, our first game when we were all bronze, it was like an actual bronze lobby, and the players were fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, god-awful, miserable players, which implied to me that, oh, it actually does pair you with people of your rank. That's what it seems like. But it was only our first game. Let's keep trying. And now we are gold whatever. And it does, going from bronze to gold or whatever, the lobbies have been getting like a little harder, you know? Like it seems definitely. Like the matchmaking works in a way that it did not on Urzikstan at all.
I think by the end of Urzikstan, they had it figured out, but early on, you could literally be silver or bronze and would run into top 250 players. I think by the end of it, they kind of had fixed that. Also, like as the seasons go on, you only get demoted to a certain threshold. So those top 250 players go back to diamond, whatever it was. So they're already in the higher ranks to start. But yeah, like us starting a week after ranked launch, really, it was actually like hard stuck bronze and silver players. We didn't encounter a single person for like 4 or 5 games that belonged outside of bronze or silver. Yeah, I mean, they were all not very good players. Truly there was one guy that I was like, I don't believe Activision's statement on there are no bots. There's no way this guy in front of me is not a bot. I'm like, this is a bot. This isn't a real human. What is this thing? That's how bad it was. I mean, awful players. Yeah. But it's been solid. Like when we were in bronze, we would only see bronze or silver. Now we're in gold and it's like every single person seems to be gold. Because when we first got into gold, I think we started seeing players that were like gold 1, silver 3 on hot streaks, and they had one of the teams on like a 2 hot streak, and then we just get in there and even that lobby we like decimate. So it's like those people are probably actually just hard stuck. So definitely having the lower player counts is going to help keep the lobbies more competitive in general, which won't be the case when we get to big map, obviously, because there will be at least double the amount of players. But yeah, the only downside right now is how long it takes to find a match. And it was not just us. A bunch of people were saying it in Discord. It does take a long time to find a match. So I don't know if there just aren't that many players queuing for it or what. But I mean, it's like it could be 3 to 5 minutes to find a game, which when you're sitting there staring at your monitor, that feels like a long time.
Yes. I don't know about 5 minutes. Maybe you experienced that.
I mean, we waited almost that long a few times before it ever popped. Yeah.
Definitely longer wait times. But again, like I said in the very beginning, if we're doing ranked play, I'm willing to wait a little longer so that our lobby is like of the rank we are. 5 minutes is too long, but like 3 minutes, it's a long time, but I think it's worth it if it's possible to do. If the result will be a very strict like skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah.
In ranked, that's what you want. Like I'm gold. I only want a lobby of like gold players. And if I have to queue for an extra minute or 2 to get that, I'm okay with it. But anyways, the challenge system does also help with putting players in brackets they belong in as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I would love to see even more challenges too going forward. Like I would love to see one for an extra bonus for winning 5 matches, winning 10 matches or something, you know, because even like I don't know, how many matches of ranked do you think we've played at this point? 12, 13?
Yeah.
And we've won like 7 games, right? So it's like we should still be pushed out of those ranks faster. So if there is a category 2 for win 5 games, for another 250, 300 SR, that would be interesting too. But yeah, this is a really smart challenge idea that they had for ranked. I really like this.
Yeah.
And I think
I agree. They could afford to add some more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we don't belong in gold. Like, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I belong in iridescent. You belong in silver. Yeah.
Well, that's not true at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Kill check. So yeah, anyways, that's been good. So yeah, they did a couple, and then moving on, just a couple other bug fixes here. Nothing worth reading.
Yeah, just the quick fix issue, which we talked about.
Yeah, pretty much it.
Fix an issue that caused geography and buildings to appear in areas of the world where they did not belong to. That had been an issue for a month and a half, 2 months, maybe. You would just randomly get like, it was kind of like the demon polygon glitch in Warzone 1, where random areas of the map, there would just be structures, and then you would ADS and they would disappear. Those were all over Ashika the last time I played Ashika, so I think that's that issue. Yeah. That's cool, because that was a big problem.
And that's it. So yeah, a couple solid little changes there. The big thing again is that tac stance evolver with the 5.56 ammo. It's really busted. I don't blame Raven for not seeing it coming, by the way. Like, I certainly didn't. But That will be nerfed pretty soon. But you should still level the Evolver because they're probably not going to touch the 7.6.2 build, the long range build, nor do I think they should. I don't think they need to. I think it's pretty balanced. The 7.6.2 build is solid for big map. It's strong, but it's not overpowered by any means. It still has significant downsides. I think that's pretty well balanced. I think they just need to nerf the 5.56 ammo type, which they certainly will probably pretty soon. So use it while you can if you want. And then that is pretty much it for the patch notes and changes that have already happened. So now we are moving on to news and upcoming changes, and we have some good things to talk about here as well.
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, so we got some info here from Treyarch. So we talked about this already, how Warzone Ranked still has the tap system. It had it when Warzone Ranked launched last year in Al Mazrah, and the devs said they had been actively looking at ways to get rid of the tap system. Smile, they launched Ranked Play anyways with tap still in. People have been nonstop complaining about it because having to tap to get SR in a downed enemy just kills the flow of a ranked mode and the flow of the match in general, especially on Resurgence. When it's quicker, it's a smaller area, you have people landing on you. You can't afford to be wasting your time to tap some guy that your teammate did 300 damage to down just so you get the same amount of SR as your teammate, right? So Treyarch tweeted this out. So in a future update, we will adjust how kill and assist SR is awarded when engaging with downed enemies to mitigate tap gameplay and increase competitive integrity of the SR system. Details below. So here we go. Change details. Only the following players will receive kill and assist credit when a player is eliminated. And as a reminder, a kill and assist is the same amount of SR. Right?
Kill and assist are the same amount.
It's the same. Yes, people get that confused. A lot of people think an assist is different from a kill. It says an assist, but you get the same amount of SR. So here's what they're changing. The only players who will receive kill and assist credit when a player is eliminated. The player who downed the eliminated player, and players who damaged the eliminated player shortly before they were downed, which is what Raz had said when we talked about this, when I was like, I agree the tap system is awful, but I can't think of really a much better way to do it. And then he had suggested that, and then that's what they're doing. So you only get kill and assist credit if you down the player or if you damage the player shortly before they're down. So no more tapping an enemy and getting full SR after your teammate downed them. So then they go on to say players who didn't damage the eliminated player shortly before they were downed will instead earn squad mate kill SR when their teammates down and eliminate an enemy, which is like half the amount of points, basically. Half the amount of SR. In the same future update, we're granting squad mate kill SR regardless if a player is dead or alive. So that's been another thing people were talking about. I was downed at the end of the final game. I was dead. You and Jake were alive. I think you guys won the game. Jake got a million kills at the end. I didn't get any SR because I was dead. So they're changing that as well. People have complained about that. So then they go on to say, insight, this change is being made to ensure the competitive integrity of kill and assist SR by removing the ability for players to tap downed enemies to overinflate their SR gains. This change will also help streamline gameplay by preventing disruptions rooted in prolonging eliminations to tap. True. Especially when we're in town, Jake downs a guy. I'm only 30 meters away on a different rooftop, but it takes me 10, 15 seconds to climb, mantle, find the guy that he downed and tagged to get my tap in, right? It was insane that we do this, but you kind of have no choice. So with these changes and our increase to squad mate kill SR in Season 2, gameplay should feel just as rewarding and much smoother. So that's what they're doing.
Huge W Bossman change. As Tanner said, this is exactly what I recommended would be the next best system to eliminate the tapping meta, and that's exactly what they did. You get assist credit only if you damage them before the down, not after the down. The only downside here is that you do not get any additional SR for thirsting someone who is downed, and you get the same amount of SR whether you thirst them or You don't touch them at all. You do no damage to them. You'll get the same amount of SR either way. That is kind of bad because you do want to incentivize teammates to thirst people, especially in Resurgence with how everyone spawns with a self-res, and self-reses are quite common. You want to incentivize thirsting people, even if you hadn't done damage to them prior to them being downed, more. But it's a trade-off that I think everyone should be happy with. And I think overall, this is a lot better. I would rather incentivize thirsting people less if it means we get away from having to tap people. It's super annoying when you get a down because, like, I just want to thirst this guy. He's selfing. I'm panicking. I don't want to be a dick and deprive my teammates of the SR, but I also don't want this guy to get his self off while I'm trying to shoot his teammate who's like pushing my stairs. What do I do? Yeah. That's annoying. Or like having to like run after people your teammates have downed to tap. That's super annoying. But also, like they mentioned in these tweets, which is something you don't think about very often, and I didn't either, this means you're going to be thirsted more quickly, which is also going to increase the pace of the game because you'll start the respawn timer sooner. Because like there are plenty of times you get down in Resurgence and then you're just sitting there. Yeah. Because that guy's teammates are like running up to you to tap you. And you can't just like, you know, whereas otherwise you would already be waiting for the Resurgence timer to end and you would respawn sooner. So it makes you play the game less as well as the downed person. So this is fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of it. And yeah, I think this is the best possible solution. It's going to make the game way more fun. And also, it's going to make throwing knives way better than they were. Yeah. And they were already gross. Yeah, I wasn't like, running them because that, yeah. Exactly, yeah. I was like not super keen to run throwing knives in ranked because they would be really helpful, but if I'm going to have to wait for people to thirst or to get their taps rather, I might as well just run frags, I guess. But now you don't have to do that. So now throwing knives are going to be really good because you don't auto pick up frag grenades. Cringe game. Fix it. Please fix it. Please fix it. Please auto pick up tacticals and lethals. Fix it, please. It's the last thing almost quality of life wise. But anyways, I will auto pick up my throwing knives. And now that I don't have to wait for my teammates to tap, that's fantastic. And also, I learned this recently. Throwing knives are very good if you're on controller. Because I ran them anyway yesterday for the first time. And I was the last one alive. And I was like ratting at the top of a staircase waiting for Jake and Tanner to respawn because they're not as good as me. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, a full team was running up the stairs. So I was like, all right, here we go. So I just held my throwing knife and just waited. And then as soon as the first guy came, I threw it. Immediately he's downed. Can't do that with any other lethal. Immediately down. Yeah. And then I gun the second guy, kill him, and then the third guy kills me. But by the time the third guy killed me, I had gotten a bunch of timer reduction from getting 2 downs and 2 thirsts. So Tanner and Jake were already back, so we were chilling. And that wouldn't have been possible without throwing knives. And then also, Jake has gotten quite a few nasty throwing knife downs as well. So like, it's not only good for getting your thirsts quickly, although it's very good for that, and I would run it for that reason alone, but it's also really good if you're in a pinch and you're in like an unwinnable 1v2 or 1v3. The throwing knife can make it possible because you instantly down someone if you hit like upper chest or neck or head, I think. Yeah. So you should be running those. They're really good. And there's, in fact, the reason I'm talking about this so much, I've seen a lot of discourse in the past day or two on throwing knives being overpowered. Yeah,
people
are
mad about them all of a sudden. Oh, yeah, people are real mad about it. And I think...
like, all of a sudden, this just started
one of the clips going around, I didn't watch it, I just, like, read what it said, but it was a pulse check clip, and one of them had said something about like that's the reason that throwing knives are so busted is because they can one-shot down you and you get a bunch of aim assist from it too, I guess. I think it was maybe Adrian
you do
had said it, but that's coming from a really good controller play. He's like, these are too good because you get strong aim assist and then you can one hit down somebody. But yeah, so there's been a lot of discourse about this. A lot of people want them removed from ranked, this and that. It's funny how much the player base shifts on things. Like throwing knives were the go-to on Rebirth Island, right? People ran the hell out of throwing knives always. All of a sudden now, people don't like them. It's very weird.
Well,
it's just like one-shot snipers.
In Rebirth.
I'm almost positive they did. It's just like one-shot snipers. Everybody loved them. Then all of a sudden, no, we don't want any one-shot snipers at all. Even though we had 10 of them for a year and a half, 2 years. I'm pretty sure they did. Even in Warzone 2, a lot of people ran them. They one-shot down in Warzone 2.
Is when they changed that. Caldera is when throwing knives, they added the potential for it to one-hit down if you hit like the head, I think. So like maybe
it was
part
just
of
upper
Rebirth
body.
Island, it was possible.
Yeah, because Rebirth
not the
was
whole
in
time.
at that point. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, they're really good.
I don't know why this is the latest thing now that people are complaining about, but
I think they need to nerf them. Yeah. Because it is too easy to get it down. Like that staircase scenario I was just describing where I was the last one alive. It took no skill for me to hit that throwing knife. Like literally none. There was nothing the guy could do. I wasn't moving, so he wasn't going to be able to hear me. And it would have been impossible for him to kill me fast enough for me to not have thrown the knife and hit him in a one-hit kill zone. Like there's literally no counterplay. It's dumb. So I think what they need to do is make it do like 299 damage if you hit one of the like upper chest, neck, or head. Or have it be a one-hit down, but literally only on the head instead of also on the chest. It's too easy to hit the chest for it to be a one-hit down, I think.
Yeah.
And they would still be worth using. So like if it did 299 damage to the chest, that's still definitely good. And you would still want to use that even in like a gunfight or whatever. And you would keep the capacity to get your instant thirsts and all that. I think that would be better. Yeah. They're just too strong to hit. They're too easy to hit. And especially on this map, when you're in these stupid little shit buildings so often, bro, I'm never missing. Like in a staircase, I'm never missing a throwing knife. Like ever. It's dumb.
Yeah, see, I was trying to use them when we played too, before I swapped back to frags, and I did throw a few, and I swear I'm like, that's going to be a down, and then I wouldn't even hit the guy. Like, it would just go right by it would go right under his arm or something, basically. I'm like, dude, are you serious? It just barely
do I have to
missed him.
say it?
Mulders. But so I looked it up, yeah, so throwing knives have been able to one-shot since Season 3 Reloaded of Caldera. It was a one-shot to the chest or the head. And that's kind of what I'm thinking when I say Rebirth is at the end, or Caldera's life cycle was when Rebirth really became very popular because everyone was sick of Caldera and they went to it. So that's something, they were so common and popular then, and now people are finally like complaining about them one-shotting when they've been doing it for a year and a half, almost 2 years. So I don't really know. I don't care too much about it. I don't get down by them that much, but yeah, I think J God's suggestion was make it so they can never one-shot down, but they one-shot full somebody that's already downed. So it would take two throwing knives to down somebody, and then obviously when they're down, it's just one throwing knife to finish them. So people would still run them to finish people with, because that's what you're running them for, is that really quick finish. Being able to one-shot down somebody outside of that is just an added bonus that people will do in a pinch if they run out of ammo, if they get kind of jump scared and think their only reaction is to throw a throwing knife and maybe get the guy because the other guy started shooting them first, things like that. But that makes sense. I would be totally fine with that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They have to be able to one hit thirst. Always. Yeah. Obviously. And then I still think they would be definitely good. So,
but with the amount of people talking about this, 100% we will see a change, whether it's just for ranked or for pubs too. Either we'll just see throwing knives removed from ranked soon, or they will actually make a change, because they've had a track record now in the last couple months of changing things based on what people say. Yeah. So this has been a hot topic. 100% we will see a change at some point here in the next couple months. I don't know what
the consensus is though, because I do see a lot of people talking about it, but it's not like one-shot snipers where like 90% of my timeline said they're too strong. This one is more 50-50, I'm seeing. Like some people are saying they're too strong. Some people are like, they're not too strong. They're good enough. So I don't know what will happen, but I think they warrant a nerf. I really hope they don't just remove them from ranked. That would be a huge L, because they're also fun to use.
That's the easier idea for them for sure, is just to remove them from ranked so they don't have to make any other changes. But yeah, I don't. Right. I mean, the only people complaining about these really are really good players generally. Like, you're never getting down to a 0.5 KD guy throwing knifing you. They're probably not even running throwing knives. They're running thermal barrack grenades. They don't even know. So the perspective of people complaining about this is the perspective of a kid in top 250 ranked resurgence always. So that's kind of like, it's really not an issue. It's just the issue at the very top. So, you know, if they
that's also true.
Remove them for ranked, whatever. I don't care. That's fine. I don't really care at this point either way, but I think they'll get a lot of backlash. I agree. If they don't. Well, they would always one-shot down somebody down. So yeah, I don't really care what they do at the end of the day. I'm open to any of it.
Yeah, we'll see. This isn't game breaking. No matter what they do, I'll be fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But ideally, in my view, they take away the one-shot capability. So maybe have it do 299 damage or something, or even less, I guess, would be fine. 200, 150 or whatever. But keep them in ranked. I think that would be the best solution. But we'll see what they do. So anyways, that is it. The big thing there, again, obviously, is the tap meta is done. Finally. Yeah. That's really exciting. Now the only question, by the way, which we haven't mentioned, is when will we be getting this? Because it says in a future update.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like maybe next week, but they could honestly mean season 2 reloaded. So I'm not really sure.
I think we'll get it sooner.
I would think so. I would think so, because the way they've been doing ranked stuff as well with Treyarch is they've been making their own changes to ranked kind of often, and they've been putting it in little patches. So I can see them doing this by next week or something.
Yeah. I think they'll do it next week, but I don't know how hard it is to change the infrastructure. So that if it's harder than I think, they might wait until like season 2
they may have to take ranked play offline,
right,
to make changes like that. I didn't thought of that. Which, if that's the case, it wouldn't be until season 2 reloaded, I would guess, or they just take it offline at a weird time. Yeah, for a couple hours.
Yeah, we don't know, but it's probably pretty soon because Treyarch, Raven have been very responsive and fairly quick. So. All right, boys and girls, that is it for this episode. On Saturday, I think this is pretty much set in stone now. We're going to do a Fortune's Keep episode. Someone was mad, by the way, on Patreon, Lamppost Malone. Hey, here's a shout out for you, buddy. You said on Patreon, I don't know how you guys don't have time to play Fortune's Keep. That's interesting. We never said we didn't have time. We said we didn't wanna. That's what happened. Yeah. So if we did say we didn't have time, we misspoke, because that's certainly not true. We could have, but we were playing Big Map instead because
Fortune's Keep. And then we're not going to just make a 4.5 hour episode talking about Keep and Big Map at the same time, right? I mean, we can't just do 5 hour episodes every time.
Yeah, we're not doing that either. So just for you, Lamppost Malone, on Saturday, episode 402, we will be doing our Fortune's Keep episode. We played it plenty now, and I have a lot to say about Fortune's Keep. A lot of it is kind of in line with my first impressions, or whatever I've said about Fortune's Keep up until this point. I kind of stand by pretty much all of the things I've said, I think, but I also have a lot more to talk about and say. There's a lot to talk about with Fortune's Keep, and I'm excited for that episode, and we'll be talking about it Saturday. In addition to Ranked Resurgence generally. Now, obviously, it's difficult to disentangle those because they're one and the same right now. But I think there are... here's a spoiler for you. There are a lot of good things to say about the Ranked Resurgence rule set. There are a lot of bad things to say about the map Fortune's Keep. And when you combine them, it makes for a confusing experience. I feel confused. Because, like, on the one hand, I have fun because it's ranked, and I like ranked, and I like earning SR and having something on the line and caring about winning. On the other hand, I fucking hate this map. It's not good at all. It's really bad. It's worse than I've said. And it's worse than I thought it would be. And it's worse than the original Fortune's Keep. There's a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
So playing ranked is just a very confusing experience because it's fun. I like ranks. I like SR, but I hate the fucking map. I hate it a lot.
SR respecter. It's boring, man. We'll talk. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. We'll save it. Stop.
So there's your spoiler alert. But yeah, we'll get into it more on Saturday. We have a lot more to say than that. Trust me. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Ad-free and early access. Stay humble.
Stay humble.
Fuck you.